As many of you know, I'm in the midst of slowly modifying my LS2 powered C6 with a couple of stated objectives. First, I want it to remain extremely streetable because sometimes cars that are overly loud and rowdy can get a little bit old after the novelty wears off. And second, in order to have a very objective and measurable goal, I want the C6 to be able to achieve at least 120 miles per hour in the quarter mile. That's up from about 112 miles per hour in stock form, and that's enough of a power increase that you should be able to feel it every single time you go for a spin in the C6. Fortunately, with a few carefully selected parts, modern fuel injection, and a good tune, keeping the C6's excellent drivability intact while greatly boosting performance shouldn't be terribly difficult. And again, just keeping it real, if I was after a major power increase of 150 horsepower or more, I would probably skip all these basic bolt-on modifications, save up a little bit of money, and go for a supercharger kit instead. One question I hear more than any other is why not just go with an LS3 powered C6 Corvette? And the answer is quite simple. The LS2 engine is extremely capable, very reliable, and it came in the greatest number of C6 Corvettes, more than any other engine. And it just so happens to be the engine that's in my C6 Corvette, and if you've got a C6 in your garage, chances are it's got an LS2 in it. Now, so far with my otherwise stock C6 LS2, I've optimized the tune with a little bit more octane in the fuel. I've added a complete stock LS7 air intake system, and I recently installed a fast LSXR 102 intake manifold. And with that combination of parts, I've achieved a speed of 115.64 miles per hour in the quarter mile, and that's as fast as a stock LS3 C6 Corvette. And that means we're headed in the right direction. In a recent video, I asked for suggestions as to which mod we should do next, and you guys came through with a whole bunch of ideas, so let's go through them in no particular order. The first suggestion is to add a set of C6 Z06 exhaust manifolds and a full 3-inch exhaust. And this is a compelling suggestion for several reasons. First, it is a fact that GM engineered, designed, and manufactured a completely new exhaust system for the mighty LS7 7-liter 505 horsepower engine that came in the C6 Z06 because they needed it to be less restrictive in order to make the horsepower they targeted. And I don't believe GM would have spent the time, energy, and money on this endeavor unless they were very confident that it would yield material additional horsepower. What makes this mod even better is that you can pick up very good condition LS7 exhaust manifolds on eBay from guys that are upgrading to long tube headers, or from C6 Z06s that have been crashed and they're now being parted out. I'm actually seriously considering installing a set on the supercharged C5. It currently has 585 horsepower to the rear tires with stock LS1 exhaust manifolds, and if it doesn't pick up serious horsepower with the LS7 exhaust manifolds, then I don't think there's any reason to put them on the C6. Another suggestion is to install a Mezier electric water pump, and this is one that I don't have a lot of experience with, but it is my understanding that that would likely pick up around 10 to 12 horsepower at the upper RPM range, but of course that would come with the added cost of potential reliability concerns and perhaps additional wear and tear on the charging system. There's also the significant extra cost. It comes in at about 4 times the cost of a replacement OEM style water pump. So at this point in time, I'm really on the fence, and so let us know in the comments below what your thoughts and experiences are or have been with Mezier water pumps, and if you think they are a reliable and decent upgrade. Next, somebody brought up the idea of doing a set of twin turbos since I have ruled out supercharging for now, and technically turbocharging is different and it would be fun and quite awesome. However, that's going to have to wait for now, perhaps a video series in the future of an all-out build. Here's an idea that a pretty smart friend of mine has on his Camaro, and someone also brought up in the comments. Go ahead and swap in a set of LS3 cylinder heads, which are actually quite inexpensive, a bigger cam, and a stock LS3 intake manifold. This is a very compelling idea because for about $3,000, the LS2 would end up with a bunch more horsepower and heads that ultimately have a lot more flow potential in case some point in the future you want to really chase those big horsepower numbers. I do like this idea an awful lot, but right, wrong, or other, I've decided to stay with the LS2's cathedral port heads for now. They do flow extremely well, and I'm very confident that I can hit the 120 mile per hour objective with them intact. If you're watching this video right now and you're trying to figure out what to do with your relatively stock LS2, definitely give the idea of LS3 heads, LS3 intake, and aftermarket cam serious consideration. It's a solid option. Next, I think someone who lives near the ocean playfully suggested that I bring the C6 near the coast where I'll be closer to sea level and it'll pick up some power. Now I have no doubt if I brought the C6 to the coast and it was a cool 60-degree day, it definitely would pick up a mile per hour, perhaps a little bit more. But then I'd have to drive it back home, and then I would be back to the LS2's regular horsepower output. So as fun as it would be, I'm gonna pass on this idea. Another suggestion was to add a small 50 to 75 horsepower nitrous shot. I wondered if this would be enough horsepower to get me to that 120 mile per hour goal. So I went to the Wallace Racing calculator, and right now it looks like I'm at about 420 horsepower. And if I bump that number up by, say, 60 horsepower, that would in fact get me awfully close to 120 miles per hour. Unfortunately, the C6 would only have these capabilities when the nitrous bottle is full, armed, and open. So I'm gonna pass on it for now, but that got me to thinking, my supercharged Pontiac Fiero is pretty much maxed out under its current combination, and if I had an extra 50 to 75 horsepower, the results of this race might have been a little bit different. Next we have the tried and true long tube headers, not the shorties, but the full long tube headers. And I do believe that long tube headers with catalytic converters in place would add about 20 horsepower or so, plus a bump in mid-range horsepower to the LS2's output. My main criticism of headers is that they do add some extra underhood heat, but they also do add to the hot rod factor. But for now, I'm gonna hold off on the long tubes and see how the LS7 exhaust manifold test goes on the C5. And if that doesn't add a whole bunch of horsepower, I'll seriously consider long tubes for the C6. Another idea is to add a flex fuel sensor, and when making changes to the tune as well, the computer will automatically know when you add some E85 to the fuel tank what the ethanol percentage of the fuel is, and it will automatically adjust the tune. I touched on the fact earlier that I added a little bit of octane in my case by adding some E85 with some custom tuning, and you can kind of do the same thing by adding a quality octane booster product. And what this does is it allows you to use optimal ignition timing so as to achieve the maximum horsepower out of the LS2 engine. Integrating a flex fuel sensor into my C6's tune would make it much easier. When I go to the gas station, I can just put in a certain amount of E85, and if I don't get it quite right, the computer and the sensor will figure it out on their own. That having been said, every time I take the C6 to the gas station, I've pretty much got it down to a science. I add a certain amount of E85 and a certain amount of 91 octane, and with my custom tune, I've pretty much got it optimized. So I'm gonna hold off on the flex fuel sensor for now because I wanna focus my time and resources on other modifications. Next up is swapping in a set of lower gears into the C6's differential, and in my opinion, this is one of the best ways to make a C5 or C6 feel much more snappier without even laying a finger on the engine. Our stock C6s that have the manual transmission come with 342 gears in the stock rear end. And I think going up to a set of 390 gears would be fantastic and possibly the best ratio for regular street use. The only downsides are when you're cruising on those longer road trips, your RPMs are going to go up a little bit, but not too bad. Second, I think the gears themselves would perhaps be a little bit weaker because that pinion gear is going to be a little bit smaller. But that having been said, I think the C6's aluminum differential housing is probably still going to be the weak link in the system. And the third downside I can think of has got to be the cost. Gears are not going to be cheap. RPM Transmissions, which is one of the most highly respected vendors, sells complete differentials for around $3,000. Plus you have to send them in your old differential as a core, so there's going to be a bunch of shipping charges on top of that. I believe that East Coast Supercharging also does gear swaps, but I'm not positive and I really don't know how much they charge. If you happen to know any quality shops with a good reputation that perform C5 and C6 gear ratio swaps, let us know in the comments below because there's very few of them in existence that I'm aware of anyway, and I would certainly like to add a few shops to my list for future reference. So swapping in a set of lower gears to the C6 is definitely a viable option, and again, if you're in the same boat as I am, definitely give this some serious consideration because it really is a super choice. Now for me, I'm gonna hold off on the gear swap idea for now, And that brings us to the final modification idea to discuss, and it's a good one. Even Richard Holdner says so.
The first thing that you should do with any 6-liter, regardless of which one it is, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, is put a camshaft in it. Cam and springs are the big upgrade for any LS. That's what you should start with, unless you're starting with a turbo, which is also a good start even with a stock cam.
So guys, the decision has been made. The C6 is getting an aftermarket camshaft, and of course we'll do it right here in the Toys for Life shop, and I'll share the entire process with you. But first I'm gonna have to find the right camshaft, and luckily there's only a few of them, more like a few hundred of them. So in the next video, we're gonna walk through the cam selection process, and hopefully I'll be able to find the right one. I know at least a few of you guys out there have some personal experiences with a C6 camshaft or even a C5 camshaft. So let us know in the comments below what worked well and what didn't work so well. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and tap that thumbs up below, subscribe because you don't want to miss the next one. And most of all, thanks for watching.